Binary effect of electric current. Question number 1. A long solenoid of length L has a mean diameter D. It has n layers of windings of n turns each. If it carries a current I, the magnetic field at its center will be option A proportional to D, option B inversely proportional to D, option D independent of D, option D proportional to L. Now, magnetic field due to solenoid is independent of diameter. That is, the formula for B is equal to mu 0 n I. So, as it is independent of diameter, option C is the correct answer, independent of D. Question number 2. A 100-turn coil shown in the figure carries a current of 2 ampere in the magnetic field. B is equal to 0.2 Weber per meter square. The torque acting on the coil is. Now to solve this question, we know the formula is tau is nothing but NBIA, which is 100 into 0.2 into 2 into 0.08 into 0.1, which will give us 0.32 Newton per 0.32 Newton per or Newton meter. So 0.32 Newton meter is the correct answer. So now the answer for this question is option A, 0.32 Newton meter, tending to rotate the side AD out of the page. Question number 3. Two particles X and Y have equal charges. After being accelerated through the same potential difference, they can enter a region of uniform magnetic field and describe circular path of radii r1 and r2. The ratio of their mass of X to that of Y is. Now to solve this question, we know that R is equal to mv upon qb, which is equal to p upon qb, which can be now written as square root of 2mk upon qb, or 2mk root of q1 upon b root of 2mk upon q. So now what we get is R is directly proportional to square root of m. Now m1 upon m2 is equal to r1 upon r2 the whole square. So now we can say option C, r1 upon r2 the whole square, is the correct answer, where k is kinetic energy of the charged particle. Question number 4. A magnetic induction at a point P, which is distance 4 cm from a long current carrying wire, is 10 raised to minus 8 Tesla. The field of induction at a distance 12 cm from the same current would be. Now to calculate this, the field of induction, we know B is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi 2I upon R, that is B is inversely proportional to R. So B1 upon B2 can be written as R2 upon R1. 10 raised to minus 8 upon B2 is equal to 12 upon 4. On solving, B2 is equal to 3.33 into 10 raised to minus 9 Tesla. So option A, 3.33 into 10 raised to minus 9 Tesla, is the correct answer. Question number 5. A current of 10 ampere is flowing in a wire of length 1.5 meter. A force of 50 Newton acts on it when it is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 2 Tesla. The angle between the magnetic field and the direction of the current is. Now to find angle between the magnetic fields and the direction of the current, formula which we have is F is equal to BIL sin theta. Sin theta can be written as F upon BIL, which is equal to 15 upon 2 into 10 into 1.5, which on solving gives us half. So value for theta will be 30 degree. So option A, 30 degree, is the correct answer. Question number 6. The strength of magnetic field at a point distance r near a long straight current carrying wire is B. The field at a distance r by 2 will be. Now to solve this question, we know formula for B, magnetic induction, is mu 0 upon 4 pi into 2I upon r. The new distance is r by 2. So new magnetic field will be mu 0 upon 4 pi 2I upon r by 2, which gives us 2 times B. So option B, 2B is the correct answer. The strength of magnetic field at a point distance R near long straight current carrying wire B, the field distance R by 2 will be. So we know magnetic induction B is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi 2I upon R. New distance is R by 2. So new magnetic field will be mu 0 upon 4 pi 2I upon R by 2, which is equal to 2B. So option B, 2B is the correct answer. Question number 8. Two concentric circular coils of 10 turns each are situated in the same plane. Their radii are 20 cm and 40 cm and they carry respectively 0.2 ampere and 0.3 ampere. A current is opposite direction. The magnetic field in Tesla at the center is. Now we know the formula for B is nothing but mu 0 N1 I1 upon 2 R1 minus mu 0 N2 I2 upon 2 R2 mu 0 upon 2 10 into 0.20 upon 0.20 minus 10 into 0.30 upon 0.40, which on solving gives us 5 by 4 mu 0. So option D, 5 by 4 mu 0 is the correct answer. Question number 9. A and B are two concentric circular conductors of center O and carrying currents I1 and I2 are shown. If ratio of their radii is 1:2 and ratio of flux densities at O due to A and B is 1:3, then value of I1 is to I2 is. Now to solve this question, the ratio is given. So R1 is to R2 is nothing but 1:2. B1 is to B2 is given by 1:3. We know formula for B magnetic induction is mu 0 by 4 pi, correct, 2 pi Ni upon R. So I is directly proportional to BR. I1 upon I2 is equal to B1 R1 upon B2 R2, which is equal to 1 into 1 upon 3 into 2, that is 1 up by 6. So option A, 1 by 6 is the correct answer. Question number 10. A circular coil of diameter 9 cm has 30 turns of wire which carry current of 1 ampere. The magnetic moment of the coil is. Now to calculate magnetic moment of the coil, value for D is equal to 9 cm, that is 9 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Area is given by pi r square. Pi into r, that is 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 square. B is equal to NIA. Substituting the values in the formula, 30 into 1 into pi into 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 the whole square. B is equal to 19.08 into 10 raised to minus 2 ampere meter square. So option A, 19.08 into 10 raised to minus 2 ampere meter square is the correct answer. Question number 11. A rectangular coil has 100 turns of area 50 cm square each. It is capable of rotation about an axis joining midpoints of the two opposite sides. When a current of 5 ampere is passed through it while in the plane is at right angles to the uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque of 5 Newton meter. The magnetic field will be. Now we know the formula for torque is nothing but B capital I N A, that is magnetic induction current, number of turns into area. B can also be written as torque upon I N A, which on solving gives us 5 upon 5 into 100 into 50 into 10 raised to minus 4, which on solving gives us 2 Tesla. So option B, 2 Tesla is the correct answer. Question number 12. A rectangular coil of 500 turns with an average area per turn is 4 cm square carries a current of 0.2 ampere. The coil is placed at the angle of 60 degree with direction of the magnetic induction of 10 raised to minus 3 Weber per meter square. The torque acting on the coil is. So now torque, tau, is nothing but NIAB cos 60, which can be also written as NIAB sin theta, that is sin 90 minus theta. So sin 90 minus 60 degree, which is equal to 500 into 0.2 into 4 into 10 raised to minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 1 by 2 which on solving gives us the value for torque is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 Newton meter. So option C, 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 Newton meter is the correct answer. Question number 13. A rectangular coil of area 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square and 40 turns is pivoted about one of its vertical sides. The coil is in a horizontal field of 80 Gauss. If a current of 0.20 milliampere produces an angular deflection of 20 degree, then the torsional constant of the hairspring connected to the coil is. To find the constant, we know the formula for constant is C is equal to N B I A upon theta, which comes from the formula N B I A is equal to C theta. So substituting the values in the formula, C is equal to 40 into 80 into 10 raised to minus 4 into 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 upon 20, which on solving gives us 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 9 Newton meter per degree. So 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 9, that is option A, is the correct answer. Question number 14. The torsional rigidity of the suspension fiber is. Now to calculate this, we know the formula C, torsional rigidity constant. C is IAB upon theta. Putting the values, 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 upon 10, which gives us 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton meter per degree. So 2 into 10 raised to minus 6, that is option C, is the correct answer. Question number 15. The deflection of galvanometer falls from 60 to 30 when 12 ohm shunt is connected across it. The galvanometer resistance is. So S is equal to 60, or instead of shunt we can use N is equal to 60 by 30, which is equal to 2. The formula for S is equal to G upon N minus 1, G upon 2 minus 1. S is equal to G by I, G by 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So S is equal to G. S is equal to G is equal to 12 ohm. So option A, 12 ohm is the correct answer. Question number 16. The deflection in a moving coil galvanometer falls from 50 divisions to 10 divisions when a shunt of 12 ohm is connected across it. The resistance of galvanometer is. So now S is equal to 12 ohm shunt, which is equal to G upon N minus 1. So N is equal to 50 upon 10, which is equal to 5. S is equal to G upon N minus 1, which can be written as G upon 5 minus 1, which is G by 4. So value for S is equal to G by 4. So G can be written as 4 into S, which gives us 4 into 12, which will give us 48 ohms. So option D, 48 ohm is the correct answer. Question number 17. A galvanometer resistance of 3663 ohms, 3663 ohm, a shunt S is connected across it such that 1 by 34 of the total current passes through the galvanometer. Then the value of shunt is. Now to calculate the value of shunt, we know formula is Ig upon I is equal to 1 by 34, which is equal to S upon S plus 3663. S is equal to 3663 upon 33, which gives us 111 ohm. So option B, 111 ohm is the correct answer. Question number 18. A milliammeter of resistance 50 ohm gives a full scale deflection for a current of 15 milliampere. If the milliammeter is to be used to measure current up to 1.5 ampere, then the resistance that must be attached to the milliammeter is. Now, formula for shunt S is equal to Ig by G upon I minus Ig, 15 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 5 upon 1.5 minus 15 into 10 raised to minus 3, which on solving gives us 0.0505 ohm. So 0.0505, that is option A, is the correct answer. Question number 19. A galvanometer resistance 25 ohm is shunted by 2.5 ohm resistance. The part fraction of the current that flows through the galvanometer is given by. So now Ig upon I is equal to S upon S plus G, which is equal to 25 upon 2.5 plus 25, which gives us 2.5 upon 27.5. 25 upon 275 is equal to 1 upon 11. So option A, 1 upon 11, is the correct answer. Question number 20. In an ammeter, 10% of the main current is passing through galvanometer. If the galvanometer is shunted with 10 ohm resistance, what is the resistance of the galvanometer? Now we know that Ig is equal to S upon S plus G upon I, the formula which we have, which can be now written as 10 upon 100 I is equal to S upon S plus G I, which can be written as 1 upon 10 plus G. So 10 plus G is equal to 100, cross multiplying the term. The value for G, what we get is 10 will go that side and become minus. So 100 minus 10 is 90. So value for galvanometer is 90 ohms. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 21. A galvanometer G is equal to 1000 ohm gives full scale deflection when a current of 10 microampere flows through it. It is required to measure a current whose maximum value does not exceed 1 ampere. To do so, we need to connect a resistance of. So we know S is equal to Igg upon I minus Ig. So now, on putting the values, what we get is 10 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 1000 upon 1 minus 10 into 10 raised to minus 6, which gives us 10 raised to minus 2 ohms. That is 0.01 ohm in parallel. So option C, 0.01 ohm in parallel, is the correct answer. 1 Tesla is equal to option A, 1 Newton ampere, option B, 1 Newton meter per ampere, option C, 1 Newton ampere per meter, option D, Newton per ampere meter. So now to solve this question, we know force F is equal to QVB. Magnetic induction B can be written as F upon QV. Force unit is Newton, and here we have ampere meter. So option D, Newton per ampere meter, is the correct answer. An electric current passes through a long straight copper wire. At the distance of 5 cm from the straight wire, the magnetic field is B. What is the magnetic field at distance of 20 cm from the wire? Option A, B by 2, option B, B by 3, option C, B by 4, and option D, B by 5. Now to solve this question, we know magnetic induction B is given by mu 0 by 4 pi 2I upon D, where we can say that B is inversely proportional to D, such that B2 upon B1 is equal to D1 upon D2. Substituting the values, 5 upon 20 is equal to 1 by 4. So value for B2 can be written as B by 4. So option C, B by 4, is the correct answer. Question number 24. A moving coil galvanometer of resistance 40 ohm gives full scale deflection when a current of 0.25 milliampere is passed through it. To convert it into voltmeter, a range of 10 volt, the resistance required to be placed in series is. So RS is equal to B upon Ig minus G, which is equal to 10 upon 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus 40, which gives us 39,960 ohm. So option D, 39,960 ohm, is the correct answer. Question number 25. What is the relation between voltage sensitivity SV and current sensitivity S of a moving coil galvanometer G is equal to resistance of galvanometer. So we know that SI is d theta by di and SV is equal to d theta by dV. Ratio of SI upon SV is equal to dV by di. D theta and d theta gets cancelled, is equal to G. So SV is equal to SI upon G. So option B, SV is equal to SI upon G, is the correct answer. Question number 26. A galvanometer can withstand safely a maximum current of 5 milliampere. It is converted into a voltmeter reading up to 20 volt by connecting in series an external resistance of 3.96 kilo ohm. The resistance of galvanometer is. Now we have to calculate the resistance of galvanometer. Now to calculate resistance of galvanometer in this case, we know Ig is equal to 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. R is equal to V upon Ig minus G, that is 3960 is equal to 20 upon 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus G. So G is equal to 4000 minus 3960. Value for G is nothing but 40 ohms. So option B, 40 ohms, is the correct answer. Question number 27. The sensitivity of galvanometer is 50. When shunt is used, its sensitivity becomes 10. If the resistance of galvanometer is 20 ohm, then value of shunt is. Now we know Ig by I is equal to 1 by 5. S upon S plus G is equal to Ig by I, which is 1 by 5. So 5S is equal to S plus G. 4S is equal to G. 4S is equal to 20. The value for S is nothing but 5 ohms. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 28. The coil of galvanometer consists of 80 turns, an effective area of 5 cm square. The restoring couple is 10 raised to minus 8 Newton meter per radian. The magnetic field between the pole pieces is 5 Tesla. The current sensitivity of the galvanometer is. Now to calculate the current sensitivity is equal to d theta by di, which is equal to NAB upon C, which is 80 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 multiplied by 5 upon 10 raised to minus 8. On solving gives us 20 into 10 raised to 6 radians per, so which is 20 radians per microampere. So now option D, 20 radians per microampere, is the correct answer. Question number 29. If a shunt of 1 by 10th of the coil resistance is applied to a moving coil galvanometer, then the sensitivity becomes. Now we know Ig upon I is equal to S upon S plus G. Ig upon I is equal to G by 10. G by 10 plus G, as it is 1/10 of the coil resistance, which is G by 10 upon 11G by 10, which gives us 1 by 11. Initially the sensitivity alpha I is equal to d theta by dig. Finally, that is alpha R is equal to d theta by di. So alpha R, or we can even use alpha F for final. Alpha F upon alpha I is equal to theta by I upon theta by Ig. That is Ig upon I, which is equal to 1 by 11. So option D, 1 by 11 fold, is the correct answer. Question number 30. An alpha particle of positive charge plus 2e is compelled to rotate along a circular path of radius r in a cyclotron with linear speed v. The magnetic moment of the closed loop is. So current due to motion of alpha particle, current due to motion of alpha particle is equal to 2e by t. Magnetic moment m is equal to Ia. I is nothing but 2e by t into pi r square, which is equal to e 2 pi r by t, which is nothing but EVR. So option C, EVR, is the correct answer.